All right, golf addicts, DB here, and we're here to talk live golf betting, some prize picks, and I got the young blood, the young baby brother, the young prepubescent bad boy of the Tour Junkies, G Money, Garrett Simmons with me. A lot of people have been asking where you been, Garrett. What do you got to say for yourself?
DB, what it do? What it do? All I gotta say is I was just trying to. I wasn't trying to cover that B grade, C grade content of those guys who never heard of, just smacking the little white ball around. I want the big dogs. That's why I'm here. You know, I've been running
Yeah,
around slinging real estate. The whole 9 yards. But yeah, no. We're taking a little break from the Corn Ferry Tour podcast. Not necessarily gone. It's going to be a little bit of restructure, potentially a little bit more of an interview style of styles. Just with the odds being a little bit limited with Corn Ferry Tour. But no, man, I'm still around, throwing out that mullet,
go for
firing.
it.
Haven't been firing as much. It's tough gambling season other than golf, just golf and Major League Baseball.
Yep. All right, well, we're here to talk live,
Mm.
and we're at Trump Bedminster. We just heard from Caddy Andrew here. Just some key takeaways I think are important going forward, because then we're going to get to our favorite outright picks, go through some prize pick stuff, make this jam up jelly tight. Tom Fazio design, really a great, tremendous golf course. It was supposed to host the PGA Championship until the PGA Tour removed all the Trump courses last year. It's hosted the 2017 U.S. Women's Amateur. Par 71, and they could play this thing 70. The scorecard says about 7,600 yards. Andrew says they can get this thing to like 8,000. I doubt they're going to put it over the 7,600 yard mark, but they could play around with the distances. I think all said and done, it feels like it's going to play pretty long. But he said the course is dry and fast, fairways and greens pretty firm, rough everywhere, thick and juicy, bent grass greens, tabletop, tons of undulation, a couple massive greens, some bomb par fours over 500 yards. Those are some of the takeaways for me. And then at the end, Garrett, he said, the word on the street from Trump, from golf course management, from the superintendent, is they want this thing playing around that 10, 11, 12 under mark. They want it to play challenging, but they do want some birdies. Any other takeaways for you from that? Or are we ready to rock and
Well,
roll?
10 or 11, 10 or 11 over a 3-day event. That's close to what, 16, 17, what we're used to seeing on a 3-day event.
Yeah. Yeah.
So nothing. I mean, nothing
So,
crazy. Yeah, no. Everything I've heard, I know that it was going to be the site of a major championship. So, I only expect them to set it up like a major championship, but somewhere cut the rough down. It looks like it's going to be hot up there in New Jersey, like 89, 90 degrees. They're calling for a little bit of a chance of rain on Friday. But as we know now with LIV, there ain't no wave stuff, so everyone's playing in the rain.
yeah. Yep,
So
everyone's playing, and they tee off at 1:15 on Friday, a shotgun start. Friday, Saturday, Sunday are your 3 rounds. You got the team aspect. We're not really going to get into a lot of that here, but we're talking individual bets here, looking at outrights to start. And, DJ opens up as your favorite. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. He's 5-1. I mean, this golf course seemingly sets up very well for DJ. We saw a lot of these live guys play really well at the Open Championship, better than a lot of people maybe were anticipating at the 150th Open. But here, there's no way I'm betting, DJ or anybody at 5-1 at a golf tournament, so I'll skip him. Then you get to Taylor Gooch, who I don't think is good enough either to bet at 10-1. My most hated bet on the board, and if you've been listening to the Tour Junkies podcast for any length of time this year, I say this all the time. Abraham Answer continues to me to be one of the more overrated players on any tour, and I guess now the LIV Tour. He's at 12-1, and I think that's horrific value for Abraham Answer. Number one, I mean, I think the way this golf course is seemingly set up, even though it's firm and fast, like I think distance is going to be a major advantage here. Abe for sure lacks distance. He's kind of a short knocker, no pop off the tee. And then the other thing, if you think about a golf course that could play more difficult, that's got some firm greens, it's got a lot of undulation, and then nasty rough around it, you got to have a good short game. You got to be able to get it up and down in key spots when you miss it. Abe's short game also terrible. I just hate the value at 12
that's
to one.
so
I'd much rather
wrong.
have. What do you mean? What's so wrong?
Abe Answer's short game is saucy, and half the guy and
No,
the
it's
majority
not.
of the guys on. Yes, that's not true. That's not true.
Look at his stats, dude. Look at his stats.
I will send you Instagram reels of him chipping. Who gives a shit
Oh
about his
my
stats? The guy's
god,
been one
we're
of the
not
most
talking
creative.
about
He is one of
Instagram.
the most creative pitchers the golf ball around.
He's creative at finding fun ways to not get it up and down. That's what he's creative at. You've got to be freaking kidding me. I'm about to
You're off your
school
fuck.
your
You're
ass.
off your rock. You're off your
No, I'm
rocker,
about to
dude.
school you. This
Don't
is why
be giving
these
me
young
these. Don't be giving these Mark.
these
Don't be giving these Mark Brody. He can't pitch shit.
these young people and these they're so cocky. They're so. Let me just school you real quick. God dang it, dude. I mean, the data doesn't lie, G. Simmons. The data doesn't lie. I don't care what his Instagram story did. What are you kidding me? What he's doing at home after he's hit 40 balls from the same spot. Look at this. Look at this. This is from Fantasy National. Strokes gained approach. This is since August of 2021. Strokes gained around the green, is on the far right. Since August of 2021, 1, 2, 3, 4 events has he been even near neutral or positive. Look at all these negative numbers in strokes gained around the green. He sucks around the green.
It's too small
You saw it.
too small of a scope. He's been playing professional
The
golf
people
longer than
saw
that.
it.
Did you mention at all about his major performances this year? Was sick for
No, he does. He
was
does have surprisingly good major championship performances. I
and
will
we're
give you
talking
that.
about a golf course that was about to be in a major. The guy's a grinder. The guy has
Yeah,
grit.
he has no
T9
pop.
T T9 at the PGA, but he hits it straight. And if it's firm and fast, it's not going to play like
I
7,600
get
yards.
that.
They're not
I
going to
get
set
that.
it
But
up at
here's the thing: we're
7,600
talking
yards.
about to win, Garrett. We're talking about to win. You want to take Abraham Answer at 12-1 over guys like. I mean, I don't even want over guys like Bryson at 12-1, Patrick Reed at 18-1. He's a killer. Talk about a decent short
I
game.
mean,
I would rather have.
this is a separate conversation. Abraham head to head over Bryson. Yeah, I can be on Bryson because I'm high on Bryson this week. But just an overall Abe fade. Yeah.
All right. Well, who's your fade up here?
I mean, I think an Abe fade is fine. But yes, we don't need the comments from the gallery hating on Abe. I mean, the dude's saucy.
Dude, I'm not the gallery, bro. I'm the head dickhead in charge here. I'm
I'm
the
the
chief.
head stat guy.
Yeah.
Stat this.
I'm gonna give the
Stat
people
this.
the real info. You come in here with your Instagram stories. What are you gonna tell me you saw him you saw him hitting some sick bunker shots out of a fried egg lie on TikTok next time we do
Listen,
this?
dude, the dude is sauce.
All right.
I'm fading Brooks. I don't know if that's even a real fade because he's 16-1.
I mean, it's definitely
Um,
a cop out fade, but yeah. And well,
says
and
the
because he
dude
doesn't care.
says the dude who wanted to fade DJ at 5-1.
Well,
Okay,
no,
sick.
I think this is gonna be a great spot for DJ, but I mean 5-1. I didn't
I
he wasn't my official fade. My hot take official fade was Abe Answer.
I like Patrick Reed at 18-1
Mhm.
as a favorite, kind of in that as one of my three guys. My top tier favorite. Going down the list. I like Charles Howell at 31-1. I think a lot of shit for the latest join. He says it's not about money. I think he's a ball striker. I like some of these guys who feel like they have like that still have a little bit or feel like they have a little bit of game to prove. They're like, hey, I'm gonna come out here like Carlos Ortiz, love those kind of guys that are like, hey, sure, I'm a PGA Tour winner, but I'm not one of these big name guys. But like I still care a little bit about winning the additional money to play in the events. You know what I mean? Like these guys that get
Yeah.
some of this guaranteed dough, it's like, I mean, dude, if you're getting paid 500, 600 million, who gives a shit if you win an extra 3 million winning, you know? So I like some of those guys, so going down the list, I like
Well,
Patrick Reed, like I mentioned, I like Charles Howell, and a guy that I like that's a little bit farther down the list that,
can you put your face in the frame maybe instead of like being there we go. We wanna see those beautiful blue eyes and that mullet hair you
yeah,
got there, buddy. We're
I was gonna
turning
say, man,
females.
when I have my real camera on, going
For
remote
any
today.
females watching.
I like Hudson Swafford.
Dude, let me tell you something. I bet on Hudson Swafford at the
Really
money.
for no reason, really for no reason at all, other than sometimes he's got something to prove. He's coming back. He's like, all right, I'm not washed up.
Okay, let me tell you something about Swafford. So, obviously, like, Swafford has a close place in my heart because I hit him at 250-1 at the Amex this year, right? Pretty sick. Um, but then I was all over him in London at the first event. Same thing you just said. Just recently, I was talking to somebody very close to the PGA Tour, and they specifically talking about these live guys. They specifically brought up Hudson Swafford and said of all the guys that have gone over, the guy who hates playing golf the most is Hudson Swafford. Hudson Swafford
Mm.
wants to take the money, complete his pay his dues, complete his contract at LIV, and then deuces, chuck it out. So I
Well,
don't
dude,
know. I don't.
I hate giving you credit, but can I retract then my Hudson Swafford pick?
I mean, it does make me. I mean, again, this is coming from a source close to the PJ Tour. I don't know how close they are to Hudson Swafford, but they specifically named his name and said that, and it made me go, "Oof, oof." This is a
Maybe
guy
he
who
hears
won.
this. Maybe he hears this and says, "Screw these chumps. I'm playing
I'm
this
sure.
week."
I'm sure he's going to hear this. All right, hold on. Before you keep going down the board, though, because I want to stop you there. I like the Charles Howell take. I found the same approach with Jason Kokrak. I chose to go Kokrak here in this like short to mid range here. He's at 22 to 1 on FanDuel is the best number. I agree. Like the new guys that come on, I feel like they may want to like come out hot and in their first event, like prove it for whoever cut them the fat check, prove it for the haters. Maybe they feel a little extra inspired by whatever team they're on. I do think there's something to that for these new guys. And Kokrak would be my pick at 22 to 1. Obviously, hits a ball a mile. And the approach game has always been solid with Kokrak. He's got David Robinson, D Rob on the bag, probably one of the best putters and green readers that's ever been on the PJ Tour as a caddy. And he plays tough golf courses well. If you look at his strokes gain metrics over his career, plays really tough golf courses well, I think. So I think Kokrak would be my preferred play in this like short to getting into the mid range here, but for a lot of the same reasons you like CH3.
Like that. No, it was between CH3 and Kokrak for me as well.
So as we keep on going down, I'll give you my next play here. Uh,
We should do. This is kind of completely irrelevant, but I was going to mention it before I forgot. We should do some season long live pick. I guess it's probably a little too late now, but worst least amount like worst performance from past PGA Tour winners.
mm,
On
next year we'll start.
who's gonna be? I mean, obviously, the worst guy might be one of these guys we've never heard of, but the worst washed up.
Yeah, yeah. You have to pick. Yeah, I get that. We'll do that for the 2023 season.
I mean,
I
like
want to talk
some
about
of
the
those
20.
member guests, like the death flight. Who's gonna be in the death flight? Where you can win like the death
Oh,
flight of the member guests if you're in the last of all the.
somebody on Twitter hit us up yesterday and said, speaking of member guests, they played in a member guest just a couple weeks ago with Scott Vincent, who's in the field, who's played in all three. He's played in every live event so far. But they played played against him in the member guest. I think he had to play at a +6. Let's see. He played at a +6. I asked the dude a bunch of questions. Uh, He said the guy was super nice. He played 4 rounds. He did not make a single bogey the whole all 4 rounds. The guy is sick. They got boat raced in their own flight because they couldn't outrun the strokes. But
Wow,
Scott Vincent, between live starts playing member guest in
that's
Colorado.
gangster. Honestly, Greg, if you're out there listening, how about maybe a member guest event? Like, how about a flighted pick your partner live event member guest
Isn't that
style?
basically like Seminole and the JP McManus Pro-Am? Like that, isn't that basically what that is? The
Exactly, but
Seminoles?
make it a live event. Make it a
Yeah,
live event with cash, with this cash. Yes, I mean, who relates more to member guests? Member guests is the people man's majors,
that's
the
true.
working man's major.
All right, moving down the board. I like these guys a lot here. Sam Horsfield at 40 to 1 to me is tremendous value. 40 to 1 on DraftKings. He's the 90th ranked player in the world. Um, and the kid has serious firepower. Now, he's very boomer bust. If you look at his DP World Tour record, he's like top 10 or trunk slamming. He was solo fifth in London at the first live event, T11 in Portland just a couple weeks ago. He won on the DP World Tour at the Sadal Open. That was like a few weeks before the first live event. He has 3 wins all time on the DP World Tour. So young, the dude knows how to close the door when he's there. He's like a good total driver of the ball. Like he's plenty long. He's fairly straight. But he's first this season. He's first on the DP World Tour in strokes gained approach and 10th in strokes gained putting, and pretty solid around the greens too. So Sam Horsfield at 40 to 1, and now in his third live event, is the guy that I got my eye on.
All right,
You
I
like
like
him?
Schwartzel. Yeah, not as much as Schwartzel though.
Yeah, Schwartz is going to win another one, huh? The South African's going to keep it rolling.
I think these guys that are comfortable playing these events, they've been playing good in the first two. I think there's going to be that. Like Brendan Grace has made. I think I saw a stat. He made more money in the first two than he has in his whole PGA Tour career.
Yeah, he
With
did. Brandon
winning one,
Grace.
playing well. Um, so
Now
I think Charlotte's out
Schwartzel,
there. Charlotte's kind of he's on a summer heater.
he didn't play well in Portland. Yeah, he obviously
He
won
played
London.
well.
He
He
finished
played well at the Masters.
T37 in Portland. Keep in mind that's out of 48. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, Schwartzel's a good player. I mean, he is a good player. What was his number again? What's his number?
50-1 on DraftKings.
Okay.
No, sorry.
I'll
45-1. 45-1.
Well, at 50-1 on DraftKings is my last outright selection. And that's Justin Harding, who's another guy like Charles Schwartzel. This will be his third start at LIV, but he's got two top tens. He finished 8th in Portland, 10th in London, three top tens on the DP World Tour in 2022. He's confident. He's playing well. He just hadn't closed the door, but he's a two-time winner on the DP World Tour. And he has multiple wins worldwide outside of the DP World Tour, Asia Tour, Africa Tour. Very accurate driver of the ball, 35th in strokes gained approach on the DP World Tour this year and 10th in strokes gained around the green. He's got the short game. Total driving's there. 50-1 on DraftKings for Justin Harding. That is my final kind of, long shot selection. So Kokrak, Horsfield, and Harding for me.
Okay. My final guy out there, it might have been, I don't know if it's my fourth or not. I like Stenson, 65-1.
Stens, you
I
think
think
Stenson's going to
I think he's another one of those guys who's getting all that shit for jumping the Ryder Cup captaincy, and he's not going to just come out here and show up. Like he's going to be like, well, "Screw you guys, I'm going to win."
What's he been what did he do? Let's see. At the Open he missed the cut. Scottish he missed the cut. He won whatever that thing is that he hosts, the Scandinavian mixed. I don't know.
Just
He
basically
won
like
that.
a live event.
Yeah, not too many great results to speak of this year, but I mean, obviously, this is different. So you're definitely all in on that narrative of like something to prove kind of guys.
Oh yeah,
First event out. I'm surprised you didn't talk about Paul Casey.
dude. I don't know what it is about Paul Casey. I can't really put a finger on it. It's just I can't trust him.
I've always been a pretty big Paul Casey backer.
Whenever I like Paul Casey, he's a flusher. Whenever I watch him play, I'm like, this guy's a flusher. And then you see him post 9 over in like a U.S. Open. You're like, what are you doing, dude?
All right, let's talk our top 10s or top 20, whatever you got. Here's what I've got. I got 3 top 10 bets. And I'm going top 10 because, again, 48-man field. I'm looking for value. I'm looking for plus money. I'm not here to give you minus money on a top 10 here at the LIV event. And the names I came
Right.
up with, well, I'll give you the 2 that I haven't talked about already. One is Paul Casey. I mean, that's kind of why I brought him up. He's plus 170 to top 10 on DraftKings. He made the cut at the Open. That was his first event. We've seen him in a while coming back from fighting off a little bit of an injury. It was good to see him at least make the cut. I don't mind, that he finished kind of down there a little bit, but that he made the cut. He played 4 rounds and he's here. I mean, I think that's something. I think he like Stenson and Kokrak and CH3 are, first timers coming into this LIV event, probably wanting to kind of have something to prove, shut some people up. So I feel like the plus 170 number is about as short as I would go with plus money in a top 10. The next guy that I have is a guy that one of the byproducts of the LIV golf thing, if you watch, is you're going to learn about a lot of new players, at least for right now, until they start, if they start picking off more players and you've got 48 guys that you've heard of before, this may change. But Henny Duplessis, the big South African bomber, this dude, do you know about him, Garrett? Have you ever heard of him? Probably not.
No, never heard of him.
Henny Duplessis, I think he's a vibe. I think he's a total vibe. Just big sucker. And he freaking rips it. He mauls it off the tee. Okay. Top 10 in distance on the DP World Tour, but he's also got some sick hands around the green. Top 10 in strokes gained around the
He's got
green on the DP World
those
Tour.
Abe
He
Answer
could have
hands.
won. No, way better than Abe Answer hands. Way better. You're not paying attention. He's finished solo second in London, almost ran down Charles Schwartzel to win the very first LIV event, and he's 3-1. He's 3-1 to top 10.
So
I
is
mean, I think
Schwartzel. All right,
that's
yeah, I
some
don't mind.
value. Schwartzel 3-1. So I like Casey, I like Henny, and then I think probably Harding because, and I've already talked about him as an outright, but he's 3-1 as well. I mean, for a guy who's already gotten 2 top 10s in LIV tournaments, and he's doing his thing, like a 3-1 value for that guy feels pretty nice. So I'll roll with those.
Okay. I don't really hate it. I do like Carlos Ortiz though, top 10, 19 to 1 plus 190. Um, I just like his.
So
I'm sticking with the same
it's not
narrative.
19 to
He's a
1, Garrett. That's
whatever
plus
plus
190.
190.
Almost.
You know what I'm saying? Plus 190. Almost 2 to 1. So I like him in that upper tier of top tens. Going down the list without picking any of the same guys that I've already picked. Man, I really want to pick Dick Bland, but he just has not really been giving me anything lately, man.
You haven't been getting anything from Dick?
Big Dick Bland.
I mean, I don't
Is
think we
Chase
can
Kepka?
get I
Is
don't think
Chase
we can.
is? I mean, when is Chase Kepka gonna like have a run? Like, does he have anything to prove? Like, hey, I'm not just Brooks' brother, or now that he's got a bag, he's just like,
I
fuck it.
mean, shit, dude, if you offered me a bet on if you offered me a head-to-head, for the tournament on
Brooks
Brooks
Chase.
versus Chase, I might if I mean, I'm sure you'd get some sizable plus money on Chase. I would probably hit that.
I mean,
I
you
in
got to,
fact, I know
yeah. I mean, so I'm gonna go a long shot top 10 here. I'm gonna throw in Chase Kepka plus 1,200 to top 10.
ooh, a little 12. I mean, okay, Brooks finished 16th in Portland. Chase finished 23rd. I mean, they weren't that far. Let's see that he beat him by Brooks beat him by 3 shots. In
I mean,
London,
I know
Chase played.
everyone gets some shit for getting sponsors invited, but he's also money into some PGA tournaments. He can.
Yeah, he finished T33 in London, so he hasn't really done much. But I mean, I just continue as the days go by, I continue to doubt Brooks Koepka's interest in actually playing competitive golf. So as the days go by,
I
until he
want to know
proves
what goes down
otherwise,
in those. I want to know what it goes down in
in
little team parties like who's getting too banged up to even play the next day. Like, dude, they're throwing some
yeah, I
bangers,
think
man.
that.
I think live bangers.
Well,
Did you see that? Did you see someone post
speak,
like maybe it was the Caddy Network or something posted that video of them on the PJ, like players,
yeah,
caddies, the whole 9 yards.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
who's turning the table upside down on the PJ out the up to Trump's place.
I think this is a good time to talk about this. Let me share my screen. Let's look at some prize picks options because I think there's some names in here that if you feel like they're partying hard, you could totally you could totally fade them here on prize picks. Oops, let's see. If I go here, Garrett, can you see that? You good?
Yeah, I can see that. Can't see
All
that
right.
left side because my face is over there.
Huh. So you don't see DJ at 4
Oh,
on
now I
birdies?
can see it. I can see it. I just can't make it full screen. I got you.
All right. So check this out. Let's go to strokes. It's a par 71. We talked about how the golf course is going to lay out. Thursday looks to be pretty mild, but I will say there are some gusty conditions. Everybody tees off at the same time at 1:15. A little bit gusty in the afternoon. So, like, what do you think is going to be a good score with a par 71 like this course is slated to play? I mean, I look at a
You,
guy like Pat Perez here on Prize Picks, and I see his over under number for round 1 is a 72. I love taking the over there.
yeah,
He's only
I like.
had in Portland, he had 1 round under par. He had 1 round out of the 3 under par. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I like all Pat Perez overs unless it's
Yeah. What about GMAC? I kind of feel like the same. Now GMAC's number has gone up. I
Pat
saw
Perez.
this.
Pat Perez is the only one that's actually honestly came out and be like, "Yeah, I'm lucky to get this invite. Like,
Yeah.
this is sick."
Now what do we think about Phil? They got Phil's number at 74. So that's 3 over par. Do you think Phil shoots better or worse than 3 over? He was last seen in Rwanda with monkeys and gorillas. What do we think?
What's the over under that? What's the over under that? What's the over makes it back from Wanda?
I don't know. He'll be here for this. What do you think if you had to bet there on Phil,
What
over
happens
or under?
if you miss it? Like, what happens if you're sick? Do you
We
have to
don't
pay?
know.
Do you get a penalty if you don't show up?
We don't know.
Man, 74. I feel like that if it was, I think that's a stay away.
It's actually gone up. I think you're right. It was a 73, I think, and I think at that
72
one
and
you
a
hit the
half,
over.
70. He's 72, 73.5, but I don't like that one. Over
What
on
about
Keimer.
Matt Wolff? You
I
like
like
the
over on
Keimer number?
Keimer. Yeah, I never knew Keimer, but Max was really good friends with him. And I think Keimer is in that like just wants the dough. Got sick of is overplaying. He got overplaying golf a long time ago after a couple major victories and you know some dough.
Now,
I haven't seen him. I think he cares about a couple events, maybe some of the majors he can get into, some stuff in Europe. But um, yeah, I'm out on Keimer.
what about this Brooks number, 70.5?
I don't like the under.
I don't either. Do you think it's a stay away or you take the over?
Bryson, I like the over on better.
The over on DJ, 69.5?
Yeah,
I think I'd
I mean,
stay
we
away
were, we
from
were
that
just
one.
talking about how we're gonna like. What's Kevin
Yeah.
down there?
71, par, even par.
Hmm. What about fading your boy Answer? With the short game like yours.
Oh, I would 100% pound the over on that.
No, I can't get behind that.
Oh,
What's Patrick
even
Reed?
par and I win.
How about some unders? Who's
Reed's
going low day one?
Reed's 71. I mean, that's what I was looking at. I mean, I
I
think
like the
it's
under
up
on
here.
Reed.
I don't mind it. But hold on, let me show you this. Let me show you
Yeah, I
this.
like the under on Reed.
Let's go to the birdie or better matchup, which people, if you're not
Oh,
crushing birdie
gangster.
or better matchups on Prize Picks, this is like if you
Wait,
play the
0?
numbers here, you're gonna win. Well, hold on, look, it's who's gonna have more birdies in round one. DJ versus Taylor Gooch. If you think it's DJ, you take the over. If you think it's Gooch, you take the under. But look at some of the guys that they pair, that they couple together. Okay. Like, I mean, I
Phil
know
and
you
Dick.
talked about
Phil and Big Dick Rick.
Phil and Big Dick Bland. Yeah, yeah. But look at this. I mean, I think Bryson Charles Howell, I think you pound Bryson in that matchup for the over on birdies.
Yeah. No, I agree because
That
he's
that
just
is
gonna go
that
out
is
and make some sweet
automatic.
birdies. Yeah.
Um,
Um, you're gonna like
Phil and Big
Kokrak over Answer, but
I think I'd actually stay away from that one on birdies.
who's Reed? Who's Reed playing?
Reed is playing Sam Horsfield, which
Oh,
I
you like that Sam Horsfield guy.
kinda like Horsfield.
What about Matt Wolf?
Wolf is going against Big Henny, the
Oh,
South African I was talking
dude.
about.
I mean, you can't go the op. Oh, you could go the opposite if you think Henny.
Yeah, you could bet the opposite.
The opposite.
Like, I like this Justin Harding, Pat Perez line, and I take the under on Pat Perez
I take
because
Harding.
I like Harding there. But some of these matchups get real interesting. Like, they will put 2 guys that are in different classes. I mean, honestly, Wolf and Henny is a different class. Like,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wolf,
What about GMAC? What about GMAC and hates golf?
yeah, I think I'm staying away from it, though, because, like, I mean, I cannot take GMAC for more birdies here. He's terrible. He's had 2 out of his 6 rounds under par on LIV, and he's
Can we
old
just
and washed up.
can we just straight up fade Wolf?
You mean
You
against
were just
Henny
high on
Duplessis?
this big. Yeah, you were just high on this. Gonna go out there. He plays good.
Uh,
Matthew
so
Wolf is liable for a first round 80 burger, and anytime he tees it up.
this is true, but I was gonna say,
Matthew
though,
Wolf Matthew Wolf's good for like the 80 burger, and then round two he makes like 9 birdies and shoots like 4 under.
yeah, but what if that happens in round 1? That's what I'm worried about.
No, he
I
don't roll like
wh
that.
what I was gonna say is, if you zoom out, like, big picture long term, if you played round 1 100 times, I think Matt Wolff comes out making more birdies than Henny Duplessis more times out of 100. So, I think for me, it's probably a stay away, but I think the value on Henny Duplessis at that top 10 number that I gave earlier is good. I think that's probably it. So, I mean, I think this little card here on Prize Picks between Pat Perez over on 72 strokes, Keimer over 72.5, Bryson making more birdies in CH3. Oh crap, we can't have Pat Perez in 2 lines. Let's
Oh
take
yeah,
Oh no,
they won't
we're
let me do
taking
that.
Harding. Will they let us, Oak, if we're on the Harding side? Will they let us?
Maybe.
Nope, they won't. You can't have Pat Perez in there, so we gotta take Pat.
What was
Which
it?
Pat Perez do we like? I think I like the over on the
I like
score
the
better
over.
than I
I like
like.
the over score. Yeah.
Alright, so let's get one more
What's
in there.
what's the other? What are the other options?
Birdies are better, is the
Oh
only other
yeah, yeah.
option.
Let's pick one of these guys. Let's pick one of these guys. I like a BK under. No.
Phil 2.5 birdies. Um, I don't know.
He's gonna go out there and
That
make
was,
5 birdies?
I mean, I think he can make
What are
4.
these
I think
what are these par 5s? Let's see.
all 3 are around 590. All 3 on the scorecard.
Hmm.
5 birdies is a lot, I feel like. If they played at 7,600 yards, I think that's a lot.
It's a lot for a guy that you're like, "I'll take his brother over him."
That's true.
I mean,
All
what
right, let's
Chase
see.
at? Is Chase down here in Prize Picks?
No, Chase isn't on here. Let's take the under on him. Yeah, let's do that. All
Still
right. So Kepka under 4 birdies. If you do a flex play, you can 4x. If you get all 4 right, you can 1.5x if you get 3 right. If you power play that bad bitch, you get 7.5x if you hit all 4. Boom. There we go, bud. All
love it.
right. That's the first live breakdown. We'll probably do some more of these. The next one's in Boston. We'll have some more intel for you as well. Be on the lookout for more G Money on the Tour Junkies YouTube channel if we can ever get him to, I don't know, just do anything that we ask him to do,
Yeah, he can
other than
afford
chasing
me.
tail and slinging real estate.
Whoa, whoa,
So,
whoa,
all
whoa,
right,
whoa, whoa.
that's it. Any final words, G Money?
No, good to see your face again, DB. Hopefully we can do it again soon. Uh, is there? Are we missing any news or anything? Like, I feel like every day there's a new live update going on. Did we miss anything in the last 20?
I mean, yeah, they've announced the 2023 league changes. So it's interesting stuff. I mean, I think, I think they've accelerated the growth. I think what they're doing now in 2023, they were planning on doing in 2024, but it's going to be 12 team franchises competing in a 14 tournament schedule that'll be a global schedule in North America, Latin America, Asia, Australia, Middle East, and Europe. They're talking about now also they're going to launch a developmental kind of like feeder tour for Live.
Dang.
Um,
What what I think they
and
should do is I think it would be sick to have kind of like almost like F1 slash Premier League soccer where you like these teams are owned. That
well,
also
that's
could
what's
take the
happening.
heat. Oh, so like Jeff Bezos could buy a team.
It's not public, but there's already plenty of rumors swirling around a couple of companies. I've heard AT&T, I've heard Adidas already talking about,
Buying
yes, when these
teams.
franchises are locked in. Because what's going to happen in 2023 is the teams are going to be locked, is what I understand. Like there's the team captains and the teams are going to not they're not going to change as much as they have so far this year. I
Like,
also
unless they
think
buy or sell players.
I also think that I've heard that the marketing agency that they outsourced to do all these teams and team names and branding that everybody makes fun of, I've heard that they're out the door, and that effective 2023 there will be new teams, brandings, names, all that stuff could be different. So if you want your vintage Fireballs hat, you might want to get it
Get them
now
now.
because I don't know that the Majestics
Do they
and
make
yeah, they sell them at the event.
that's gangsta. I really wish
Yeah. So I
I don't
think
know
that's
about
gonna
that.
change. And yeah, you're gonna have fixed team captains, you're gonna have team owners. And I do think that like trading players, dropping players, adding players is going to be part of it before, before 2023 is over, which definitely makes it more interesting and entertaining for sure. It still doesn't do away with I do not like 48 man field golf tournaments. I just don't.
Well, I
I
don't
wish
understand. Is it 48 or are they
yeah.
kicking somebody else out after everyone that gets committed? Like people are committing every week, so
Yeah, dude, look at freaking, what was the amateur's name? The guy that won the Andy Ogletree, what was his name? The doofus
so
guy
he,
that
so he didn't get guaranteed money.
if he did, he got it for a very short amount of time, and now he's bounced. He ain't getting back in. You kidding? And yeah, the more and more, big names come over here,
So
like,
are we ever going to see any of these like semi-washed guys get booted, or are they
maybe.
just going to extend the field?
I don't know. I personally, if they're gonna
I
be
also
here,
think round four. I also think round three should be non-shotgun.
yeah,
I'm
that would
okay
be
with
nice
round
too.
one, two.
I
Round
agree with
three,
that.
everyone finishes on 18.
I agree with that. I like that. Yeah, I would like to see the field size bigger for sure, but, I don't know, this other, like, sub tour or, like, developmental tour that they have, that may be where some of these other guys get relegated to, and then depending on how they play from there, they can play their way back onto the top live tour. So
Sounds sick.
if you're an old guy washed up, or you're a young guy trying to get out there, you could be relegated, or be playing into this developmental thing and then get bumped up to the big tour.
Nice. Sweet. Well, DB, good to see you,
Yep.
bud.
Enjoyed it. G Money. Thanks everybody. Hey, bend over your bookie. The bookies are offering it. It's out there. All the books have these bets up. They're available in certain states. DraftKings is doing showdown content or showdown contest for Live Golf. Freaking Data Golf now has Live Golf, betting content and odds and stuff. So if it's out there and you can bet on it, Tour Junkies, we're going to cover it. That's it. So bend over your bookie. Live Golf. See ya.